Hello and good morning, Leslie. Hello, everybody. I'm just getting my broadcast set up and I'll be right with you. So you guys, I dropped you a little hint this morning about our project. Did you guess what it was? Before you read it in this description? Okay. Good morning, everybody. How are you doing today? I have a really fun project planned for you. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do this morning, but it kind of came to me this morning, and I think you're going to like it. It's a really cute summer project, and this morning I posted a little teaser about what it was going to be, and I said that Katy Perry sang about it, but she probably couldn't make it or didn't make them, but we can. So up here in the description, you probably realize what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be making a popsicle, and I'm hoping that this comes out super cute because it's been in my mind for a little while about how I could do it. And I think I've got it. So anyway, good morning. I hope you guys are doing great. It is hot. Sun's so hot it'll melt your popsicles, right? At least that's what Katie says. Anyhow, we're going to get started in just a second. I'm going to switch my camera around so you can see what I've got going on here. So while I'm doing that, if you wouldn't mind, please hit your SHARE tab so that lots of people can see this cute project. I think you are going to like it. So here we go. So this is my little popsicle that I cut out all by myself on my scroll saw this morning. And it doesn't look like much right now, but I think if it comes out the way I think it's going to be super cute. So we're going to be using a masking technique today. And my plan is to do the top part of the popsicle in our couture teal, the bottom half of it in our coral color, guava. Do I have a coral? No, I think we're going to use guava. And white in the center, and then we're going to put a phrase in the center of it, which we've used before. So first thing I'm going to do is start masking this off, and I'm just going to be using some blue painter's tape. If I had the Chalk Couture tape, I would be using that, but I'm still waiting on my order, hopefully any day now. And I could go straight across with the popsicle, but I think that'd be kind of boring, so let's jazz it up a little bit. I'm going to cut a curve into it, give it a little bit of flow and a little bit of motion. Just a simple curve, nothing fancy. Just cutting a curve. Because it's always more fun to have curves, right? Alright, so that should go right about here. Like that. Rub that down. Is that about a third, you think? Hi, Kathy, welcome. And I'm going to mask off the bottom in the same way. Just going to cut a curve into my tape. It would be kind of boring if it was just straight. We are not boring people, are we? Gotta have fun. Okay. So this one is going to go right about here. Right about there, right? I think this one's a little bit crooked. Probably wouldn't matter because it's just a popsicle, but that's all right. We'll fix it anyway. All right, I think we've got it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my chalk paste to actually paint with today. And this is something that I've done before. You may have seen me. So I'm going to stir up my chalk paste using one of my little stir sticks. And this is a little bit thicker than I usually like it. I want it to be about the consistency of sour cream, yogurt, cake batter, whatever you prefer. So, whoops, I'm going to add just a couple squirts of distilled water to it and stir it up so it's a little bit thinner. if it happens to thicken up, that's the way you fix that. You get a little distilled water. I bought a gallon of it at the grocery store a long time ago, and I've been using it ever since. Just, it lasts for a long time, and it's pretty inexpensive. All right, so I'm not sure if this is going to be too thick for our project. I think it might be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop a little bit of it out and put it into the lid of my jar and thin it out just a little bit more. I don't want the whole jar really thin like paint, but I just want enough to cover the top part of my popsicle. Are you guys staying cool today? It's going to be another hot one, I guess. I'm grateful for air conditioning. We grew up without it, so I don't know what I do without it now. So I'm just using a regular old paintbrush, and I'm going to see how this covers. Oh, it's pretty good. Just going to paint with my chalk paste. This is not paint at all. It is a creamy form of chalk. It goes on wet and dries hard in just a couple of minutes. It is water soluble, so if you're using it on a non-porous surface, such as chalkboards, metal, glass, windows, anything like that, it will wash off really, really easily just with a little bit of warm water and elbow grease. Comes right off. Oh, this works pretty well. I'm pleased with how this came out. Let's see if I can get all the lumps out that I might have left. I'm going to leave that painter's tape there for now because we're going to add some texture with that too. I'm getting it on my tablecloth. You guys know me. Not the neatest person, but it's okay. You love me anyway, right? Alright, so I'm just going to clean my brush, and we'll do the bottom with the guava color. Cover my jars because you don't want to let this be exposed to air for too long. That is what makes it thicken up really, really quickly, just leaving it exposed to air. So as soon as you can cover your jar, the better. We'll get this cleaned up and we'll work on the guava. Thanks for sprinkling, you guys. It really helps build my algorithm. And that's always a good thing. Let's see. Just drop some chalk dust on there. So I'm going to stir this one up just like I did before and plop a little bit into the lid. Just a little bit of water and stir that up a little bit. So this is just a tiny bit thicker maybe than acrylic paint would be. You can also do this with acrylic paint, but this is the color that I like and that I wanted, and it works perfectly. Might need a little more than I made. So I am working quickly because this chalk paste dries like wildfire, and I want to get it all down and nice and smooth. I'm going to paint the popsicle sticks in a light brown color too. A little bit more of that. I think that was one of the first songs that I loved that Katy Perry did, was that California Girl song. Sun's so hot, I melt your popsicles. Sorry, I sing on my lives. You guys, if you haven't watched me before, I can't help myself. Hey, Garda, good morning. All right, we're almost done with this. And then we'll move on. We'll do the popsicle sticks. Put little bumps on there. I think what I'll do is I'll hit this with my heat tool and dry it before I move on to the sticks. All right. How are you guys today? Kathy, my gosh, I haven't seen you since high school. Wow. All right, so I'm just using a heat tool to dry my chalk paste a little bit. This is almost dry up top, but I want it really, really dry because I'm going to do another layer over it, and you'll see why. This is a heat tool. It's mostly used for embossing paper, but it also works great to dry chalk paste. If you don't have one, you can let it air dry, or you can use your hair dryer. Whatever you got will work. Okay, one more little spot I'm going to grab for the popsicle sticks. And for this one, I have two different colors of brown. One is bark and one is called iced coffee. And I really wanted a color that's right about in the middle of those two colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop a little bit of each of these into a little plate off to the side. These are just little Club Couture plastic dishes that you can use. I use it for a lot of things. I keep my dirty stir sticks in them, and I also keep my squeegees in there, and I also mix my chalk paste together in there too. Pretty useful. Oh, thanks, Garda. I'm hoping it comes out really cute. This is one of those projects I've been going, how can I do this? How can I do this? And if you've been watching me at all lately, you know that I've been a little bit obsessed with my scroll saw lately. I'm getting more comfortable using it, and I've really enjoyed doing cutouts and making things that are three-dimensional and just, you know, just a little different than your standard plain board or chalkboard. So it's been good. So that is right about the color that I wanted. I think that's kind of popsicle stick color. So I'm going to go in, get my brush cleaned again, dropping more chalk dust on here than anything, and I'm going to paint my little popsicle sticks. Yeah, that needs a little bit of water. Stir that up a little more. That's better. That is better. All right. Yep, that's spreadable. It's much better. Okay, when I get up to the top here, I looked at a couple pictures of popsicles because I want to be sure I had this right. There's a little bit of a curve right here into the ice itself. Not a big one, just a little bit. There we go. And we'll do the other one. Guys, this is so easy. I'm not an artist by any means, and I can paint these. This is pretty darn easy. Pretty simple. Okay, our sticks are good, I think. Okay, we got it. Good morning, Ruth. How are you today? All right, I'm just gonna dry these popsicle sticks for a second. Hi, Tammy and Cindy. Nice to see you guys here today. We're doing Katy Perry popsicles. It's gonna be super cute. I'm so excited to see how it works out. See a little tiny spot that I want to grab right here before I move any further. Just a little bit on the edges right there. It'll drive me crazy. Get a little bit more of this right here. I might as well get this one too. It's nothing, but it's there. And I know it. Okay. Doing good, Ruth. Staying cool. All right, so the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna add polka dots to our popsicle because cute matters, that's why. All right, so, oh my gosh, one of the jars had a lot of chalk dust on it. When it dries around the rim, it sometimes flakes off the edges. So I'm gonna be using our polka dot transfer today. And before I do this, I am going to fuzz it like crazy because the back of our transfers are very, very sticky. And I'm going to show you more about that in 1 second. But before I do that, I'm going to write on the back of this. Just write polka dots on the back. And my initials. I put my initials on the front of the transfer as well. The reason I write on the back and fronts of all of my transfers, first of all, this side of the transfer carrier sheet is sort of a matte finish, and the side that the transfer is actually attached to is very slick. So the transfers themselves are very, very sticky, and when after you use them, you will wash them, dry them, sticky side up, and then you replace them on the carrier sheets. And you always want to remember to put the transfer back on the shiny, shiny side. So writing on the back reminds me that I don't want to attach it to that side. It's just a little mind game that we use to remind ourselves. I also put my initials on the front and back because sometimes I share transfers with other people, or I have a group of people over and they're all working on the same transfers. So we want to make sure that you get your own transfers and carrier sheets back. So it's got a little piece of hair already stuck in it. I can get that out. That's all right, I'll avoid it. So because I'm doing a layering technique, I want to do something called fuzzing, and you want to fuzz it really, really, really well because we're layering this on top of another layer of chalk. So to do that, you can lay your transfer on something like a towel. This is a fuzzing towel from Club Couture. It's sort of like a terry cloth on one side and a microfiber on the other. And this is not only good for fuzzing your transfers, it's also good for after you've used them and you want to dry them sticky side up like this, you just leave them right there and it does its job. So this I have fuzzed up nice and well. Just adds a little bit of fiber to the back, which softens the adhesive. So I'm going to put this to the side and grab our little popsicle. And I think we're going to start on the bottom. And I'm going to layer this on top of the chalk that we've already done. And it doesn't matter if this is straight. I'm not really looking for straight lines. But keeping that blue tape on there is going to keep the chalk that I'm going to add next from going onto the white area where I'm going to do something different. So you know what I should do before I do this? I'm gonna tape off the brown from the sticks as well. Hey everybody, if you're just popping in, say hello, please. If you're a new viewer, I'd love to know that too. Yep, need to cut that a little bit more. This masking trick is pretty good, huh? Let's see. That should go right there. Yep, that worked. We'll cut another little one here. Mask the bottom. I've done masking before in some of my lives, but not quite like this. These are the things that keep me up at night, you guys. Thinking about how to do things. Okay, so I'm going to take my transfer and lay it on top. There is actually a silk screen that runs through this whole design. So anywhere that you see the pink showing through there, there's a screen, and that is what your paste goes through. It's different from a stencil in that you get much more detail because of the screen. So I'm just kind of rubbing this down. I'm not putting too much pressure. I don't want it to pull the paste up from underneath that I've already chalked. So I'm going to be using bright white chalk paste and give that a stir, and the consistency here is pretty good, so I'm just going to leave it like it is. And to apply your chalk paste, you're going to use a rubber squeegee, and I'm using a mini squeegee on this project just because of the size. We have squeegees that are this big, we have one that's about double this, and we also have a 4-inch for really large projects. So you take a scoop of your chalk paste and start spreading it all over your design. And I'm kind of aware of where that blue tape is while I'm doing it. It's okay if it goes over the tape, because we're going to pull that off as soon as we're done with this. So I'm pulling my squeegee over the whole area that looks pink to me. And when I get to the end, you're going to go back over and squeegee off all of that excess chalk and put it back into the jar to use for another project. And that looks good. Good morning, Christine. Welcome. All right, so let's pull that off. Get our little cute polka dots. So stinking cute. I'm going to pull the tape off very carefully. It worked. Phew. I never know. Sometimes when I try things that are different, sometimes they just don't work, but sometimes they do. So let's pull this off. Look at that. How cute is that? All right, so now I'm going to flip this around and we're going to do the same thing with the polka dots on the teal. So, see if I can do this without getting chalk paste all over myself. There we go. Ooh, it's a little harder to see the tape on this one, but it's okay. The paste is almost the same color as the transfer, so it's harder to see through it. I think I've got it. All right, we're gonna go back in with that little squeegee, grab some more chalk paste, and spread the magic. So you guys, if you've never done this before, I think a lot of my viewers have, but if you haven't, using chalk paste is what I always compare it to buttering toast. You just spread it all over and it works. So I'm scooping off all the excess, putting it back into the jar. And the most important thing to remember when you're using chalk paste and transfers is always to remove the transfer before your paste dries. If it happens to dry before you peel it off, it's going to stick to your transfer, and you won't have much of a design, or it'll be kind of messy. I'm so glad we did that curve. I love the way it looks. So let's pull that tape back. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. What do you think so far? We're gonna add a little bit more to this little cutie patootie. Cover up all my jars, make sure they're nice and tight. And we're gonna add something to the center. What could it be? What could it be? So a couple weeks ago, I did a project with a watermelon. You guys remember that? It was really cute. I actually made bundles and you guys could order them from me. And I used a transfer called Sweet Summer, which involved a watermelon and the word Sweet Summer. And I want to put Sweet Summer right in the center of this design. So this one has been used before, so I have already written on the back and the front. Oop, I missed the front. Let's do that now while I'm thinking of it. And I am just going to remove this from the carrier sheet. And I'm going to fuzz this a little bit. This is another super sticky one. I should probably dry that before I do that. Yeah, I'm going to hit this with the dryer for a second before I put this one on top and put it in the center. Thanks, Christine. And Tammy, thank you too. This transfer Sweet Summer is out of stock on my website. However, it should be in this week. If you would like it, or the polka dots or anything else that you might see, let me know and I can see what I can do for you. All right, so that's been fuzzed, and I'm going to put this one right in the center of my popsicle, but I want to hit this with the dryer for just a second. Make sure my polka dots are dry. I don't want to mess them up. All right, so let's find this sweet spot for this. It's hard to tell exactly where the center is, but I'm just going to guess that it's right about there. Yep. Move it just a little bit over. It's really hard to tell sometimes. All right, that's going to be it. So I'm not going to, you don't need to rub down all of this blue area. I'm just going to rub down tight the areas where I'm going to be chalking. I'm not going to do these little speckles all over the edges because that's for the watermelon. But I'm going to be using black velvet chalk paste for the words. And stir this up before we get going. I'm at the bottom of my jar, you guys. Ooh, it's a little thick too. So I'm going to pull up what I can. I've been using this jar for, I can't even tell you how long. Long time. And add just a squirt of water to it and thin it a little bit. It's amazing how much you get out of one jar of chalk paste. Okay, get another mini squeegee out and we'll do the same thing we did with the polka dots. Just going to smooth it over my design. Like so, and the excess gets scooped back up and into the jar. See, there's hardly anything left on my squeegee. And that's what you're going for. Okay, we'll cover that back up and we'll peel that transfer off. Are you excited to see this? Oh yeah, it came out really cute. Super cute. Okay, I'm going to dry this a little bit and then we'll put a hanger on it and maybe a little bow. Good morning, Nancy. All right, that ought to do it. So I found some really cute wire downstairs in my workshop. It's actually teal. It's not very heavy, so I can't like curl it or anything like that because I think it's going to stretch when I hang the popsicle from it. It's not heavy, but compared to this wire, it might be. So I'm just going to cut a little bit of this off, about a foot or so. Thanks, Tammy. I love it too. It's so fun. And I'm going to see, where's about the center of this? Okay, I'm going to go, I put little tiny holes in here. Yes, I can operate a drill press too. I'm kind of proud of myself for all these power tools that I've been using. The only one I'm really afraid of is our table saw. So, Steve to the rescue. Yes, I did make the popsicle. I made it with my scroll saw this morning, just before I came live, actually. Because of this idea has been brewing in my head for a little while. And I'm just twisting the wire. This is our little cute hanger, and we're going to add a bow to it as well. I love the way this looks. Okay, so we've got our little teal hanger. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's kind of cute. And I have some ribbon out. I'm going to move this to the side for a sec. I don't want anything too big, but I was thinking of putting a ribbon like right in this little corner here. Just needs a little something up, something, right? So I've got a couple, I've got a teal, I've got a blue, and I've got a pink. That all match pretty well, and they're all different sizes, so that's a really good thing. So if I can get these open, sometimes ribbon can be a pain in the butt to open. Yes, I made the pattern and cut this on my scroll saw, which was fun. All right, so I'm thinking I want the bow to be about that big. So I'm gonna cut this. Put that aside. Let me check. Yeah, that looks kind of cute. All right, so we're going to use this one. Then I'm going to take a piece of this. I don't think this is wired ribbon. Wired is my favorite of all times. It's just so much easier to work with than non-wired. But we're going to make it work because it's cute ribbon. And cute matters. So this one, I'm going to cut just a little bit shorter. Just a smidge. And then I'm going to also grab this blue one. You can see that I've been shopping. I found some great stuff on clearance. And I love being able to grab a ribbon when it's on sale. I like everything on sale, but ribbon, yeah. And this one is wired. So that's good, I think. Lightly wired. Okay, cut that. And now, I do want to cut some points into the ribbons. So to do that, you fold it in half and you start at the outer edges and cut kind of like a V into it. I've done it backwards a few times. Yeah, that never looks good. Like that. I just did it after I just told you I wasn't going to do that. I can fix it. Okay. That's good. Do this one. And this one. Okay, that's the last one to put the points into. And then we're going to attach it to the hanger. Okay. All right, so to do this, I need a piece of string, just a wee piece. And I'm going to layer my ribbons, this one on the bottom, followed by this one, and then this one. And we're just going to kind of pleat it together, like so. And tie it in the center. And then I'll make a little bit of adjustments when I'm done with this. I've got it all tied. Okay, I'm going to bring that around the back and tie it because that way I can tie it to the wire as well. Okay, so let's play with this just a little bit. You can do one of these bows. It's so simple, and simple is good because I'm not a bow maker. Somebody's going to teach me one of these days though, because I'm just not very good at bows. And I'm just going to tie it up to the corner of our popsicle. What do you think? Isn't that cute? Love it. Okay, turn this over. And we'll tie it to the corner. We're almost done. It's definitely easier with wired. Oh my gosh, yeah. Much easier. All right. Trim this up, trim my tails, and we are almost done. There she is. What do you think, you guys? Is that a cute little popsicle or what? I think it's darling. There's my word, darling. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this project as much as I did. I'm glad that you got to witness it come to fruition like I've been thinking it would come out, so that's always a good thing. So tomorrow I will be back at 10 a.m. with another project. Leslie, I think I'm going to do the one I've been teasing you about, so be sure to be here at 10 a.m. Otherwise, if you're catching me on replay, sorry I missed you, but thanks for popping in here and watching it after it's happened. I'll post a finished photo of this later on, and also the ingredients that I used to make it. If you are interested in a popsicle and would like a cutout, let me know about that and I'll see what I can do for you. That's what I have for today. As always, thank you for watching, and if you're interested in being in my VIP group, write VIP in the comments. It's a free group where I do lots and lots of fun specials here and there. It is also good if you are local to me and you want to hear about my events that I hope to be having soon. I'm kind of hoping September. I'll be back doing my classes. And also, if you're interested in a business opportunity, getting paid to craft like I am, you can also let me know about that too. Just write join in the comments. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Stay cool. Don't melt your popsicles. And I'll be back tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Take care.